lawsuit that was filed against Combs several years ago doesn't seem to be a problem for him anymore. This was originally filed with the plaintiff's identity being kept anonymous, but then she revealed herself, come to learn that this plaintiff is Raven Wales Walden.
A woman is accusing Sean Diddy Combs of drugging and her when she was 16 years old in 2000. The Jane Doe filed a lawsuit against Diddy and two unnamed defendants who allegedly worked for the disgraced rapper.
Y'all, things just got even crazier in Diddy's world. A former nanny for his twin daughters is now breaking down with shocking claims that Diddy, along with actor Ashton Kutcher, tried to delete her to cover up some serious dirt. If you thought the lawsuits and drama surrounding Diddy couldn't get any messier, well, buckle up because this story is wild. The lawsuit that started it all. This whole mess kicked off with a lawsuit filed against Diddy's company several years ago. At first, the plaintiff chose to remain anonymous, but eventually, she came forward, revealing herself to be Raven Wales Walden. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Raven wasn't just any employee. She worked closely with Diddy's twin daughters after the tragic passing of their mother, Kim Porter, in November 2018. According to Raven, she was more than just a nanny. She claimed to be like family, even calling Porter her auntie and mentor. After Kim Porter's death, Raven says Diddy personally asked her to live at his estate full-time to take care of his daughters, Jessie and Delilah. At first, it seemed like a heartfelt gesture, but things quickly went left. The alleged retaliation. Raven agreed to move in and take on the role of a full-time nanny. She helped with everything, managing projects, caring for the twins, and attending major family events. There's even footage of her at Diddy's star-studded 50th birthday bash and her own gender reveal party, where Diddy himself was present. But in January 2021, everything came crashing down. According to Raven's lawsuit, she was wrongfully fired by Diddy because she got pregnant out of wedlock, which he allegedly claimed would set a bad example for his daughters. When she approached him about taking maternity leave, she claims he lost it, yelling, cursing, and ultimately refusing to honor promises about health insurance and medical expenses. Shortly after, she was let go.
I mean, this man got all the nerve. His daughters can't be around an unwed pregnant person. However, all the things he's accused of as their dad, they could see that. They could be around that.
Claims of emotional distress. Raven didn't just lose her job. She says she also suffered major emotional distress and damage to her professional reputation. She accused Diddy of retaliating against her in one of the most vulnerable times of her life, leaving her without the promised support for her and her youngin'.
And as a result of this wrongful termination, she claims that she suffered, quote, intangible loss of employment-related opportunities and damage to her professional reputation and emotional distress.
In her complaint, she described the experience as humiliating and career damaging. She also highlighted how she had dedicated herself to honoring Kim Porter's legacy by caring for the twins, only to be discarded when she needed help the most, vanishing without a trace. But here's where things get weird. Despite filing this explosive lawsuit, Raven suddenly went quiet. The lawsuit hasn't been making headlines anymore, and nobody seems to know why she dropped off the radar. For someone who seemed determined to hold Diddy accountable, her silence is raising eyebrows. Did she receive hush money? Was she pressured into dropping the case? Or did something more sinister happen?
So Diddy ex-nanny, who claimed to be late Kim Porter's niece, she drops the bombshell wrongful termination lawsuit against Diddy.
Let's be real. Given Diddy's history and the growing list of allegations against him, it's not hard to believe that something shady might have gone down. And the fact that Raven disappeared right when things were heating up, it only makes the story more suspicious. Rumors swirling around Diddy's paternity. There have been whispers that Diddy might have allegedly been the father of Raven's child. The timeline of Raven getting pregnant and then suddenly being fired doesn't sit right with a lot of people. And now, they are wondering if Diddy was more involved than he wants us to believe.
Combs engaged her in conversation, asking where she was going so late at night and that it was not safe for her to be walking alone. Although she told the rapper that she lived around the corner and would be fine, he allegedly insisted on giving her a ride home.
Let's not forget, this isn't the first time Diddy has been accused of some seriously shady behavior. Over the years, multiple women have come forward claiming that Diddy forced himself on them. One of the most notable cases involves a Jane Doe, who filed a lawsuit accusing Diddy of forcing her into situations she didn't consent to. And it's not just women. Lil Rod also filed a lawsuit claiming Diddy took advantage of him too. Forced abortions allegations. Now, allegedly, when Diddy found out Raven was pregnant, he didn't take it well. Word on the street is that he pressured her to get rid of the little one, and when she refused, he kicked her out and fired her as a way to cover it up. This tracks with another disturbing case from back in 2024, when a woman accused Diddy of making her pregnant and then forcing her to have an abobo. According to the lawsuit, the woman claimed that Diddy's team was constantly coercing her into visiting him, to the point where she didn't feel like she could say no. She also detailed how she was allegedly forced to take substances, blacked out multiple times, and woke up with bruises and no memory of how she got them. And here's the wild part. After finding out she was pregnant, Diddy allegedly had his girlfriend at the time, Young Miami, harass the woman by constantly calling her and demanding that she terminate the pregnancy. The woman said she was terrified and eventually gave in to the pressure, which left her traumatized. Raven's lawsuit sparks speculation. With all these past allegations coming to light, it's not hard to see why people are speculating that Raven's lawsuit may have been about more than just wrongful termination. If Diddy did, in fact, get her pregnant and tried to force her into an abobo before firing her, that could explain a lot about why things escalated so quickly. Some fans are even saying that the lawsuit was just the tip of the iceberg and that Diddy might have paid her off to stay silent before she could spill everything. This would explain why Raven suddenly vanished from the public eye and why her lawsuit hasn't made headlines in recent months. I mean, it wouldn't be the first time Diddy allegedly tried to silence someone. With the amount of power and influence he holds, it's not hard to imagine that he'd go to extreme lengths to keep damaging secrets under wraps. Diddy's longtime ties to Ashton Kutcher. And where does Ashton Kutcher fall in all of this? Diddy and Kutcher have been friends for years, since the early 2000s frat pack days when they were seen partying together and hitting red carpets side by side. But now, Ashton's been trying to distance himself from Diddy as all these allegations are coming to light. It's clear Kutcher doesn't want his name dragged into the mess, but let's not forget, they were both in this together for a long time.
So we were spending a lot of time together. By the way, if you're a single man, like there's probably no greater human being in the world. We were having a lot of fun together.
Allegedly, Kutcher might have helped Diddy cover things up. And honestly, with Ashton's shady past, it's not hard to see how this could all connect. From sketchy friendships to suspicious incidents involving some of his closest associates, Ashton's history raises more questions than answers.
I can't tell that one either. I mean, I'm like actually cycling through them.
Ashton Kutcher's troubling past. There's one incident that stands out the most when people talk about Ashton's darker side. Back in the early 2000s, Ashton arranged a date with a woman named Ashley Ellerin. He showed up late that night, and when he finally got to her house, he peeked through the window and saw what he thought was spilled wine on the floor. Turns out, it wasn't wine. Ashley had been 47 times by a man who was later convicted for her red rum.
Ashley Ellerin led a glamorous life. A beautiful 22-year-old fashion student, she socialized with the young Hollywood crowd.
Ashton Kutcher taking the stand, testifying against a man accused of being a Hollywood serial killer. Kutcher saying he went to the home of one of the victims just moments after prosecutors say she was killed.
While Ashton wasn't directly involved in the crime, people have long questioned his role in the situation. Could he have known more than he let on? Some even believe that his close ties to powerful people in Hollywood, including Diddy, helped him avoid deeper scrutiny. And that's not even the only eyebrow-raising incident involving Kutcher. Connections to Jeffrey Epstein and child protection charities. Ashton Kutcher was linked to Jeffrey Epstein's social circle. Allegedly, Kutcher had ties to some of the shady figures involved in Epstein's trafficking ring. And if that's not enough, Ashton runs a child protection organization called Thorn, which claims to fight against child trafficking. While that sounds noble on paper, some skeptics believe it might be a front to control the narrative and protect those involved in the very crimes it's supposed to combat.
My day job is as the chairman and the co-founder of Thorn. We build software to fight human trafficking and exploitation of children. And that's our core mission. My other day job is that of the father of two, a 2-month-old and a 2-year-old.
It doesn't stop there. Ashton also dated Brittany Murphy, who, like Kim Porter, died under suspicious circumstances. Brittany's sudden death sparked a lot of conspiracy theories, with many pointing fingers at the shady crowd she was surrounded by, including Diddy.
Okay.
The storyline is kind of predictable, but it doesn't feel at all cliche.
The Demi Moore controversy. And if you thought things couldn't get messier, let's not forget Ashton's ex-wife, Demi Moore. A disturbing video resurfaced years ago showing Demi kissing a boy who was reportedly around 12 or 13 years old. People were shocked, and the incident has never really been explained. It just adds another layer of darkness to the already questionable past of Kutcher and his inner circle.
You think it's for the publicity or out of your mind?
Absolutely, because he's one of my most favorite people.
Even Ashton Kutcher was allegedly present during one of the most disturbing incidents involving Diddy. A resurfaced clip recently went viral, revealing that Diddy once invited 12-year-old child star Davy Chase, known for Lilo and Stitch, Spirited Away, and The Ring, to an after-party. An actual 12-year-old at an after-party filled with adults. Fans have been side-eyeing not just Diddy, but also everyone who was there that night, including Ashton. It's hard not to wonder if Ashton knew what was really going on.
Coming to the after party alone? Yeah! Good, you're doing so good.
I just want to say,
When you look at Ashton's connections, from Jeffrey Epstein to Diddy, and the controversies surrounding his relationships, you start to wonder if Ashton could be the next one to get exposed. Right now, it feels like he's trying to stay low-key and steer clear of the chaos. Diddy helped Ashton Kutcher sneak around between Brittany Murphy and Demi Moore. And get this, turns out Diddy allegedly played a key role in helping Ashton Kutcher sneak around when he was juggling both Brittany Murphy and his then-wife Demi Moore. According to Gene Deal, Ashton confided in Diddy about his struggles sneaking in and out of Brittany's apartment without getting caught by paparazzi.
While he was married to Demi Moore, he was still sneaking around seeing Brittany Murphy. And he was explaining to Diddy that every time he goes to Brittany's house, paparazzi always catches him or almost catch him.
Diddy, always one to have a solution for sneaky situations, reportedly advised Ashton that it was probably the doorman or his own security tipping off the media. And let's not forget, this was while Ashton was still very much married to Demi Moore. So yeah, Diddy wasn't just throwing parties, he was out here offering advice on how to play both sides without getting caught.
Diddy was telling him that's either the doorman or your security. You know what I'm saying? And he was still married to Demi Moore at the time.
Ashton's links to Abercrombie and Fitch and Diddy's role in covering his mess. Ashton Kutcher has also been linked to the controversial brand Abercrombie and Fitch, which faced multiple lawsuits for SA allegations involving male models. And here's the wild part. Before transitioning to acting, Ashton actually started his career as a model. The connection between Ashton's early modeling days and the shady dealings at Abercrombie and Fitch raises eyebrows, especially considering that Diddy and Ashton have been close for years. It's not hard to see why Ashton might have needed someone like Diddy to help cover up any potential scandals. Whether it was sneaking around with women or dealing with messy industry ties, Diddy was allegedly always there to help Ashton keep things on the low. Did Diddy secretly record Ashton Kutcher at those wild parties? Here's where things get even shadier. Allegedly, Diddy might have recorded Ashton Kutcher during those infamous parties. And if you've been following the saga, you already know that Diddy's got a history of keeping receipts. Wherever Diddy went, his camera crew and tape recorders went too. He was known for documenting everything, and now, with the feds circling, there are whispers that some of those tapes could contain explosive footage involving top celebrities, including Ashton.
If the federal government wanted somebody more than they want Diddy, if he has some information about some people that they would rather have other than him, he's able to get that information to them.
It's no wonder Ashton's feeling uneasy right now. There's speculation that Diddy could use those recordings to leverage his way out of trouble, especially if the authorities are interested in bigger names. And that's not even the craziest part. Allegedly, Ashton is trying to get ahead of the situation by subtly discrediting Diddy, claiming that if anything comes out, it's probably lies.
They were real tight. One time, me, him, Ashton Kutcher went to a Nets game and we met Jay-Z there. You know what I'm saying? So they were close, they was cool.
Did Ashton Kutcher play a role in silencing Raven? Rumors are swirling that Ashton Kutcher might have had a hand in silencing her. People initially thought she dropped the lawsuit because of financial constraints, but now there's speculation that she was pressured by people in Diddy's circle, including Ashton. Let's not forget, Ashton and Diddy were tight back in the day. They were part of that so-called frat pack, along with Leonardo DiCaprio and a few others. With Ashton's name being dragged into the conversation and his past ties to Diddy under scrutiny, it wouldn't be far-fetched to think that he'd want to cover his tracks. After all, Ashton's already dealing with rumors about his involvement in other shady situations, so the last thing he needs is for someone like Raven to bring receipts. What's wild is that Ashton isn't the only one distancing himself from Diddy. Other celebs who were once part of his inner circle are suddenly staying quiet or acting like they were never that close to begin with.
And you trying to say that you're not close to somebody. You coming on stage, patting them on their ass, and then you making a broad statement to the public, can't nobody call me Sean but Sean Carter. And I heard Jay-Z said the same thing about them. But they were so close that they had matching white girls together. Because when they used to see each other, they used to say, yo, how your skinny white girl doing? He'd be like, yo, how your skinny white girl doing? So, I guess that's a certain type of closeness.
So now the question is, how deep does this rabbit hole go? Could Ashton Kutcher really be involved in silencing Raven Wales Walden? Or is he just another celebrity caught in Diddy's chaotic web of secrets? What do you make of Raven suddenly going quiet? Coincidence or something more sinister? And with all these wild accusations about hidden tapes, hush money, and shady dealings, who else might be next to get exposed? Drop your thoughts in the comments down below. Don't forget to smash that like button, hit subscribe for more of the latest celebrity drama, and check out the next video on your screen. It's even more revealing than this one.